Hello. Gotta set stuff up. But what the? Why does it say my chat rate is 2 and no one has sent anything yet? Gotta make sure the video's up. Yeah, looks like it's up. I do need to get the link though. Discord. Wow. Wait, no, that's not right. Blah 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 blah. Yes, Gamedev, where I send messages on Discord because I'm setting things up. Hold on. Gotta work on my way out here because scuffed. Good news is that I am. What the? What is that? Anyways, good news is that I am gonna get a third monitor, so I'll have enough space finally. Yeah, that's good. Also, I turned on slow mode because my last 3 streams I think I've had spammers, and because I'm focused on the code, I don't catch it for a bit. Yeah. So yeah, this is where I am right now. I need to get rid of the whole getting your arrows stuck in the wall thing, because they spawn a little bit behind you. Actually, it's a hitbox issue. But, I think I need to mess with the delay here, maybe add physics to those items. I don't know, physics for the items seems like a bit of a low priority. Yeah. I need to add the strong arrows, which do more damage. Yeah. I'm not entirely sure how I should like indicate what cards are associated with what arrows. I mean, technically I can set it up so the player just kind of finds out. I also need to add a health bar. So yeah, today I'm probably going to work on the secondary arrows, the health bar, and then if I got extra time, I'll work on... Was that a slime jumping down there? I do need to fix that. Yeah, that's definitely a slime. I need to fix that bug where it processes areas that are technically not on the screen. Yeah. I should probably slow down the movement speed because I'm bad. Yeah, I need to slow down the movement speed because I don't know, it's a bit too fast for dodging things in my opinion. Like fine movement where you gotta dodge projectiles, because there's going to be a lot of projectiles later on. Yeah. How long did it take for me to feel comfortable making games? I wasn't ever uncomfortable making games. A glowing dark blue with another bar would be cool. I'm not sure what you're talking about. I do a lot of Gamedev live streams now, so it's not too much of a surprise. If you look on my channel, there's a playlist. I just don't leave them public. They're in a playlist, unlisted. Yeah, don't want to flood the rest of my channel with that. So yeah, need strong arrows. It's just a different key binding. Spawns a different arrow. Yeah, I'll do that first. And I'll fix this maybe last, I don't know, after I do some VFX stuff. Once I do the VFX stuff, I'll redo the thumbnail for the live stream. I've been using a thumbnail from another game that I made, because the way the game looks right now is not particularly clickbaity. I gotta spruce it up a bit. Okay, so so where's the part that it's sponsored? I think it's under my player. Yeah. So when it starts drawing, oh, when I start attacking. Aha. Oh, how should I do this? Yeah, that's some questionable logic there. Yeah. Wait. So I need to if self.game.input left click self.current arrow equals, what did I even set it to? Was it wood? Actually, it's just gonna be none for now. And then I need to set it so when I start my left click, it switches to wood. So self.current arrow equals wood. And then I need to rewind it as well. And unpause it in the event that it's paused. And then, actually the left clicking will unpause it. Actually, wait a second. I'm going to, instead of doing wood, I'm going to put primary. Then I can do an if self.current arrow is primary, then it uses this logic. Yeah. And then if self.current arrow is special, so if self.game.input right clicking, and then I just can copy this. Actually, wait. This is all going to be the same, actually. There's literally nothing different. But it needs to maintain a single cycle. So it needs to be isolated. Hold on. Currently drawing equals true. Currently drawing equals false. This is a good old flag technique. If currently drawing else. So it reduces the number of lines. There we go. That way I can isolate to the correct system, well, to the correct logic for which input I should be tracking for the attack. So now I can go over here, and if self.current arrow is primary, then it uses the wood. If self.current arrow is special, I'm gonna call this stone, whatever. Do I have stone? It will be faster, just slightly. Damage will be double. Image, arrow, wood. I'm just gonna reuse the image, because why not? Is that it? Oh, I need to do if self.game.input.right click self.current arrow equals special self.weapon and then rewind. Actually, I should put this behind the else, or else you can do some funky stuff to glitch it out, and that's what the recharge times. I do need to set the charge times here. Does this have the arrow types? No, it doesn't. So from .arrow import arrow types. Ah. And then arrow types, oh, it doesn't know what arrow type it's using. Oh boy. Hold on, let's do self.arrow slots equals primary is wood, special is stone. It's a bit of a conversion thing. Did I do secondary anywhere? Okay, good. So this can be self.arrow slots, self.current arrow. So now I don't need any of this other code here. More optimization. And not only that, but now it knows the current arrow type. So using that, I can set drawback speed. Do I have it set up here? So draw speed 1.3. This one's going to need to be slower. So draw speed 0.8. That's fine actually. I'll leave that there, and then whenever I draw, it'll set it. So self dot wait, no, it's just boop, and then I can do arrow types self.arrow slots self.current arrow. And copy that down here. Oh no, that's the wrong spot. It needs to go under the click. Right. So boop and boop. Yeah. Nope. Wait, do I not have a right click? Oops. Oh well. Yeah, I'm gonna recheck real quick. I've got an internship, but I do well, I'm not an aerospace engineer. I'm a software engineer working on aerospace technologies. But I've got an internship where I'm doing non-intern work essentially. Is it just Kite? No, no, I don't think Kite changed anything. Use VS Code. You're leaving? See ya. Okay, self dot right clicking equals false. And then and gotta do it right now. And I'm gonna do this logic, so if event.button is 3, 2 is middle click, if you're unaware. Right. I wonder if there's like one of these things. I think there probably is, so you don't have to use the integers, but I've got the integers memorized. Wait, no, it's not. I'll just copy this and put a 3. Right. Right. Ta-da. And it crashed. Woohoo. What? Why is the... I'm a bit confused. Does it... Wait. What? Which one's the weird one here? So animation loader line 70. Oh no, that's dangerous. Oh, the speed's probably not set properly. Print. Oh. Yeah, oops. That needs to be draw speed. Great, my microphone's flying away. Like there's 2 springs on my arm here, and sometimes they just kind of pull back and lift up my microphone. I think that's it. Is that? Yeah, draw speed. Nope. What? Oh, I wrote slits instead of slots. Where's that? Slots. Good old typos. So, I have powerful arrow. Takes longer to charge, but it flies faster, if you notice. I do need to limit the that whole thing. So it needs to not be able to do that if I don't have any. So that's, I'm just gonna go off of the inventory. So inventory arrow special. Where is it? So if self dot inventory arrow special, that means it doesn't have 0. Just some boolean logic for you. Then it'll be able to fire. So I can't right click right now. I need to find some arrows. Oh, how did that one miss? Oh, I forgot it. It goes over. And when they're in the air, you don't shoot them because you're not level with them. I don't know if that'll be confusing for people. But then again, shooting something while it's in the air is also confusing. Either way, it's going to be a bit confusing. Give me some chests, please. Here we go. So here are some of the arrows. I need to reduce that timer. Taking way too long to pick up. So, powerful arrow. 2 hits instead of 3. Because it does 20 damage. And this one's have 30 HP. So I can actually shoot one of the normal arrows. And then one of the one of the special ones, and it's 2 hits too. Oop. Yeah. My microphone's doing the thing again. Screams. Maybe I need to tighten the... Let's see if this... That might fix it. I tightened up the, joint or whatever. So yeah, I wanna make it so you can pick up the arrow items faster. Is that under item? Clock timer? No, wait. What am I looking for? No, that clock timer is when you hit it, I think. Where's the part where it looks like a player? Okay, so it has to settle first before it'll let me pick it up. So, I might need to either change that logic or make it settle on the ground a little bit faster. I do like how long it bounces though, so I'm gonna change the logic here. So let's say, I can take the absolute of the velocity, I think. Because when it spawned, it's a negative 200 vertical velocity. So, and the absolute never drops below a certain point until it's far enough along. It's a scuff way to measure it, but it'll work. So less than 80. 70. Wait. So that took a while, so that's too low. Let's try 150. Oh, I like that. It goes me right after the first bounce. Perfect. I'm also in college right now too. I've got for this semester I've got college first 4 days of the week, and then Monday through Thursday, and then I work Fridays. Although I was full-time for a while with work. How do I plan out in games? And do I make assets from scratch? Yes, I make all my assets from scratch. Music, art, everything. Planning it out, I mean, I just kind of have a broad idea, like of the mechanics I want. Actually, sometimes I will start with the aesthetic and then work on the mechanics, but that's usually for game jams. When I make larger projects, I start with the mechanics and then I do aesthetics. Yeah, so it's like there's not like a formula for planning it all out. I think it just comes a bit naturally. Normally, yeah, I'll come up with the mechanics and then I'll kind of test it out in my head, imagine like a detailed playthrough, like essentially just simulate it in your head and think about how the game would go. Because when you do that, when you go through every part, like just imagine the mechanics in your head, imagine yourself playing it. When you do that, you'll catch some of the design issues. Although I've got some pretty bad game design typically because I don't. A lot of times I make games with the purpose of making it enjoyable for me, and not for other people. That's it happens with at least half of my games. That was the case with Drawn Down Abyss. Super Potato Bra was more of an artistic test. So I actually haven't released any large games where I've tried to make a game that was properly designed, because I enjoy stupidly difficult stuff, at least when I make it, because when you're testing this stuff for ages, you get really good at it, and then it gets boring pretty fast if you don't make it hard. But yeah, after I've kind of imagined in my head, I can start fleshing it out visually a bit more. I usually start sketching out assets. And this is actually not what most people do, and normally people use placeholder assets, and that's actually something I pretty much never do, which is fairly unusual. The reason I don't use placeholder assets is that I feel like it wastes time. Especially in game jams, why would you make placeholder assets instead of doing the actual assets right off the bat? Yeah. Although, in order to do the actual assets right off the bat, you kind of need a good mental image of what you're working on. So yeah, normally I start out with a sketch, and sometimes I'll have sketches of what the game should look like. And actually, I think I've got a couple of examples I can show you. Here. Let's see, this one probably has one. Almost all my games, like you can probably go into the files for any one of my games and see it. Oh, it looks like I deleted it on that one. I know my newer ones, I definitely tend to leave it there. Images, sketch. So I'll make these files where I'll sketch out what I want, like some of the assets to look like. So normally I'll start with the tiles and then like the player or something like that, and then I'll put together a small scene of what it would look like. And yeah, but I do this after I have an idea of what the gameplay should be like. And then from there, I just start putting things together. So, I mean, my process isn't particularly complicated, but I also don't strictly adhere to it. I think there's a couple other examples. Oh, I think I've got a big one in here. Oh, wait, I think it's the... Ha! So this is my sketching thing for Drawn Down Abyss. You can see there's a lot of stuff here. And actually the colors aren't what you see in the final game. And this was my initial sketch. I got rid of the stars. I actually wouldn't be surprised if the whole getting rid of the stars thing was a bad idea aesthetically. But in order for the game to logically make sense for the environment, like from a story perspective, I had to get rid of the stars. You can see. Oh, I have like notes here. TP to SP. I'm not sure what the SP is. TP to spawn? I think. Oh, yeah. This thing like teleports and like explodes or something. I don't remember what exactly it does. And this one explodes. There's a very interesting variety of enemies in this game. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I think Super Potato Bra might have it as well. That's not the right one. Oops. On my older games, I call the file palette, and on my newer ones, I call it sketch, I think. You can see, if you look on Reddit, under my account, you can see I posted this a while back. Just a process for how I drew a tree. This is a questionable looking tree, though. It's very blobby. I mean, it fits the style of the game, but I can draw slightly better trees now. Actually, I feel like this part right here was very well drawn, but if you look, it looks different on every single part. I was using a few too many colors, I think, and I didn't know what to do. Oh, I originally had this pine tree, and then I switched to this. Pine trees are stupidly hard in pixel art because, well, you can't really show the pine needles exactly. Doesn't come out well. But, do I have a scene in here? I think I did, but I deleted it. Or maybe this was it. No, that wouldn't have been it, because I made the game after, like the base game where you can run around and stuff after I finished this, but before I did that one. Anyways, that's a bit of a tangent. Reading chat again. You take a shower. He doesn't use card in this game? What? I'm not sure what you're talking about. Any tips on making sprites? I mean, just practice. What year am I in at uni? It's weird, depending on how you count it. In most, like, I transferred, but in terms of credit hours, like classes taken and how far I am in my degree, I'm a junior. So that's my 3rd year. I started college while I was in high school. So I finished high school and I was already pretty much a junior. How do you do enemies? I mean, I made a video on the basic concept. Also, if you look at my previous live stream, you can see how I did it with the slimes. It might be the last 2 ones or something. So like the last 2 live streams before this one, in the live streams playlist, I was working on the slime. So you can see how I did it. I set up a bunch of frameworks for it. You're going to finish a game this month? Nice. There's a channel on my Discord server where you can share that if you want. There's a showcase channel. Drawing is just, like as I said a moment ago, you gotta practice. Yeah, there's not much of a way around it. I would say I've had a harder time than average with learning pixel art, because I've been at it for 7 years, and my improvement, like, I'm not dissatisfied with it, but it's a lot worse than average for how long I've been doing it. A lot of it came with age more so than practice. Like, it was a mix. It was like I would notice things as I would get older. So like I would stop drawing for months and then come back at it and notice what I had been doing wrong or something like that. So it is a mixture of both the time and the practice. And that goes for a lot of things. Like when you're a teenager and whatnot, you will get, like if you're working on some sort of skill, you probably will get improvement even if you stop and come back to it later, just from brain development. It's okay to add multiple levels in your menu concept. That's not how I do it. You can do it that way. It doesn't really hurt. I mean, it's just kind of messy code. The way you do it is you just empty your map data and load a different map. That's about it. Just like modify that one dictionary depending on which tutorial of mine you're following. You can... enemy animation works the exact same as every other bit of animation. So you can just see my animation tutorial for that. 3D with Python, I've tried it, yeah. If you go back like 3 years on my Twitter. I've also done some 3D stuff from the ground up, like in Pygame with wireframe. Yeah. But for 3D stuff, I intend to use Godot. Anyways, where was I? So, I can pick up the items properly now. And I've got my strong arrows, I got the slime, so I think next is VFX. So, I meant to actually, I should have researched VFX design a little bit before the stream because, like, part of the goal of this game is that I have a restricted color palette, so the only way I can make it look good is if I get really good with the VFX. So, yeah, I'd like to mess around with particle effects here. So, I'm actually probably going to make a new script here and just start writing stuff, like different visual effects. So that'll be interesting for you guys to watch. It'll be a lot of trig. Thinking of doing some like curved particles. I need to add particles for the impact of the arrow. That should probably be based on the angle of the collision, and then I also need to do when you fire, and then I need just a basic particle system for the slimes. I'm not going to do anything particularly special with that. I just want some particles to pop out when you hit it, and then I do need some death animation or something like that, death effect. But yeah, a basic bow shooting effect is going to be some sort of like curved spark, I'm thinking. Oh, I forgot, I still haven't finished the player model, well, or not model, player art. It's supposed to have legs. I just never drew them. Because I didn't want to add an animation to the player, because at that point I didn't have the code for that. I do have that code now, so I can easily add an animation to the player, but that's on my to-do list again. So yeah, you kill the slime and then let's start writing some random stuff here. So actually, I'm not going to do this in Atom. When I'm modifying one script, I use the default IDE. I also have like a base script, dev tools. I take my super simple script here. Rename it to VFX test. Woohoo! Clean out the comments because that's annoying to look at. Get rid of this. VFX. There we go. Oh wait, I don't need the clock. So, class curved spark. I don't need the. Right, just do that. Init self. It's going to need a position. The curve should probably. The curve should direct the motion, at least. So it does need an angle to come from, and then it needs a curve amount, which will also be like the rate of change in the rotation. Yeah. So self.position equals. Well, I'm gonna do this little thing. It's that way you can pass a list or a tuple. And actually, wait, I'm curious. L equals 1, 2. B equals list L. L0 equals 3 B. Okay, so list makes a copy. To begin with, I don't need a dot copy. So self.angle equals angle. It's going to be in radians. Self.curve equals curve. Def update dt self.position. Oh, it needs a speed. Curve speed. 0 plus equals math dot. I need math. mass dot cosine. Cosine is for x and this stuff. Self dot angle, and then we do the y axis. Self dot angle. So it needs to rotate. So the curve is going to just be the rotational speed, and then I'll scale it for the rotation, the visual rotation of the spark. Wait. This also needs to be multiplied by speed. So by speed. Oh, this also all needs to be multiplied by dt as well. It's a lot of multiplication. A lot of time when you're multiplying with this stuff, it's like from different types of ratio-based modifiers. So curve by speed by dt, because as it speeds up, you're gonna want it to curve faster. Yeah, because the curve should be in proportion to the movement, or else the angle on the curve's not going to visually make sense. Def render. So this is the fun part. I need a surface to render onto. I need a self here as well. So I'm gonna draw a polygon. It's gonna need offset as well. I'm gonna copy this over later. Offset equals 0, 0. Or let's do this. So just gonna have a bunch of points. Question is how many. Here, I'm gonna draw an example of what I'm thinking here, because it's probably, when I say curved spark, it could mean a lot of things, I guess. So I'm thinking, how should this look? Probably the spark's gonna probably look something like this. Although, in my use case, it's going to be smaller. So what I'm thinking is, we've got the start point here. Draw a circle. And this is the angle it's supposedly going in. So what I can do is use the curve amount and trace a line along here, just like incrementally go along here, and place dots to the right and left with higher spacing from the baseline in the middle. So like as you see, like the spacing from the middle line gets smaller as I get to the ends. So yeah, that's what I'm thinking. So to start that, I'm going to need to like start the iteration. Question is, how many iterations should I do? I should probably depend on the size. Oh, I need a scale here. That's important. Scale equals. Well, no, you can pass it. Self.scale equals scale. Should be relevant to the scale, probably. I could do it for every amount in the scale. I can do it like that, yeah. For I in range scale, or self.scale. That's the amount of steps it'll take. Progress equals I divided by self.scale. So that's how far along it is. Ooh, wait. Gonna need +1 to get that endpoint. Or wait, no, I can't do it like that. Because that's going to leave me with a bunch of you can't reduce the scale to a fraction very easily. It'll look very scuffed, or like disappear. So the iterations probably does need to be like just a flat number or something like that. So just I divided by iterations plus 1. I want it to go 0 to 10, not 0 to 9. So it goes. So this goes 0 to 1. We chat real quick. Do you mean storing the map location and variable and changing it using condition and reset player position? Yeah, you'll like wipe the entire variable and put something new in it. If you look at my tutorial series, I actually have a function for loading a map from a file. You literally just call that function again, I think. I don't know if it assumes it's empty. You might have to empty it first, or the function might empty it. But yeah, you just do that and move the player position. You could have a part in your map data that tracks where the spawn should be, and your map loading function can figure out where that is, and also move the player when you load the map. How do you convert to exe? I have a video on that. How to make transitions between two scenes? You just you make one giant surface, mess with the alpha values. Like you start with high alpha, so fully opaque. Wait, no, sorry. You start with a low alpha, so fully transparent. You slowly increase it over time using like some sort of timer. And then once it's fully increased, you can like swap the map or whatever, and then cause the player can't see anything because there's a giant like black or whatever surface blocking their view, and then you decrease the opacity, so it becomes fully transparent again. And you don't want to be rendering it the whole time because it'll chug your performance, but once it's fully transparent, you just want to stop rendering it. If you actually get the game, or actually there's a lot of my free games do it as well, you can read the source to see how I do it. You've been subscribed since 1,000 subs, nice. I don't know what the specs for Godot or what you need. My understanding is that it's actually a lot better than most engines in terms of the like performance on lower end games, or just just in general can make more use out of the hardware. Yeah. Never heard of Rain World. Wait, have you mentioned that before? I know I've seen you in the stream like multiple times. And I feel like someone's mentioned something like that before, I don't know. Okay. Anyways, okay, time to do this thing again. So, position, okay. The start position needs to be to the position of the particle, so position equals self dot position dot copy. And then for each iteration, or at the end of the iteration, wait. Yeah, afterwards. Position 0 plus equals, and then I can do this by self.scale. This is where I'm going to use the scale now. And then sine. So this is making my steps along that line. Temp angle equals self.angle. Self.curve. I forgot the self here. I'm forgetting the self everywhere. Hold on. There we go. So the temporary angle increases by the curve amount, which is the same amount it does here. Which, oh, I need to multiply by speed, so self.speed. Because the speed's also going to be its own scalar, because as it slows down, you want it to disappear. I should probably like scale this a bit. So flat scaling thing. Or actually, the scale's not using anything for anything else. So I can just do it from there. I'm thinking about the math here. I might have done something scuffed with rotation. Anyways, I can move forward and just see if it looks funny. So it's tracing that path. So now from I need a list of points. So points equals that. You're going to want 2 points on each side, dependent on how far away it is from the endpoint. So if I could get the absolute distance from 0.5, so diff equals absolute 0.5 minus progress. So that's how far it is away from that. So with that information, that'll be 0 to 0.5. So 0.5 minus that to flip it up on its head, so that when you're yeah, so because you'll start at 0.5 and you'll get closer to 0 as this number gets closer to 0.5. So you want 0.5 minus that, so that it starts at 0 and increases, but then you gotta multiply by 2 because you're working with 0.5. That's just a sloppy one-liner, I guess. So points.append, and it's going to be position 0 plus math.cosine of self.angle plus math.pi. You want to rotate it 90 degrees, so that's going to be pi over 2 by self.speed by self.scale by diff. And you want to do that for the y-axis. Did I get all my brackets? And I think I did. Sine. Do it again. I'm gonna do. Oh. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. You want 2 points, one for each side. So for the other side, you got to do minus. Or wait a second here. So this is actually not going to work because it's going to get a weird zigzag shape, because the order of the points is not going to be straight along the edge, it's along each of the sides. It's going back and forth. So I need to add points to one end and then points to the other end, I think. Yeah, of the list, or else we're just gonna get mixed up. So points equals, and then I'm gonna do this. So this will append to the front, essentially, plus points. Just one side and then the other side. And then once I've got all my points, I can draw it. So Pygame.draw lines, surface. Ooh, I gotta offset the points. So 4p in points, p P0 plus equals offset 0, P1 plus equals offset 1. What does that mean minus? Oh well. It's not a huge issue. I'm gonna be using 0 for this test case. So surf. Oh, it needs a color. Color equals. I'm gonna do it for default. Self.color equals color. So color. I think it's that. It's like whether or not to close the line. Oh wait, no, it needs to be. Wait, should I use lines or polygon? Hold on. I think drawing lines and polygons are essentially the same thing, except I don't think you can fill lines. There's documentation. Draw. So there's lines and then there's polygon. Lines will work, but that's more confusing. Polygon assumes closed. Oh, I also do need to fill it right, so it has to be a polygon. So draw a polygon, and then points. So, curve spark equals curve spark, and we're gonna put it like right in the middle. So 250, 250. We're gonna give it an angle of math.pi by 2/3. It's a weird angle. We're gonna give it. Wait, that doesn't need parentheses. Angle curve. Math.pi divided by 10. I don't even know. We can give it a speed of 5. A scale of 30, and then I can do curved spark dot update 1 curved spark. Okay, my microphone is back now. I didn't notice it was dead. Oops. Yeah, I got a trashy USB connection for this thing. Flakes out, and if it flakes out, the microphone turns off, and then I have to like go through the settings to connect it to my computer and stuff, which is obnoxious. But yeah, I noticed it's broken because I read chat, but I also, when I looked over here, I would have noticed, like, I've got my volume indicator visible in OBS. When I look over to my other screen, I can see that like whether or not the microphone's working. Anyways, I'm curious how long it was broken. Anyways, yeah, this is not what I intended. I'm curious how this is happening. Can I just like... Whoa. So, points to append. No, points equals that. No, position.copy. Just more debug. Let's contain more than 2 points. What? Oh. Duh. Oh my. This is adding to the front. It's adding to the other side. Oops. Well, I'm getting some interesting effects here. Not the ones I want. Okay, wait, let's see how the curve is doing here. That doesn't do much. So just do points append position.copy. So I can see this line again. It's very long. And actually it shouldn't be that long. Actually, that comes from the scale. If I put the scale to 1, it won't do that. Let's set it to 1 for now, it'll reduce confusion. So less from scale? Yeah. There we go. Okay, it needs to be more than 1, but... There we go, there's my thing. So now, in theory, if I add this back in, it should become curved. No, what the? Oh, right. Yeah, oops. This needs to be temp angle, not the self angle. What? So temp angle should be changing. Hold on. What's this? Okay, I can see it changing there, but it's not changing enough. Oh, I think I need myself.scale. Maybe? Yeah, there we go, curved. I saw it. Here we go. Wait, what the? Why is it? It's already very close to what I want. You can see this curved shape right here. I'm gonna make that bigger. Oh, it's closing it. That's why. Yeah, it's making its own arc and closing it. That makes sense. So, let's see if this spaghetti works. Angle. So the scale was wrong here or something. By diff. Oh, that's where it is. Didn't use the Y position. Oops. Ha. Ha. I mean, what? I think I need to reduce the scale here. This is what I might need to be 0.1. What the? So I'm curious what the logic is there. Oh, also I could take the square root and it'll smooth it out. And square root of the difference. So math.square root. And now it's more round. I'm curious what's giving it. That is a weird shaped blob. It's like when you make these mathematical mistakes, there's always something entertaining to look at. Did I? What could I have done here? So it needs to be minus and minus, plus and plus. I should be able to like. Oh wait. Duh. Well, okay, that was an issue, but that wasn't the issue that I was looking at. I'm gonna read chat real quick. Congrats on 1 mil, what? I was only muted for 2 minutes. Okay, that's good. What should be exponential, not inverse? IDE customization for Atom? I mean, I didn't customize hardly anything. I just used the script package so it can run things. I think I even used the default theme. I also used Kite. Looks like one axis is not rotating. What do you... Well, one axis not rotating is what I, in theory, would have gotten from using the wrong value there. What I can do, I can increase the scale, make it really big, and then, oh, once again, one of those very interesting things. Wait a second. Did I do an oopsie here? Those numbers look right. Yeah, like 0 to 1 to 0. That's correct. How is that? Is the temp angle going too fast? Okay. What did I make this time? It's so trippy looking. There's like a little triangle in the middle. Okay, wait. What I can do is just take things out until it looks right. So take out the speed, scale, diff, all that stuff. And just do the base trigonometry. Why do I have a circle? What happened here? And how? Okay, what is temp angle doing here? Okay, so temp angle's too large. Was that the issue again? This needs to be 1,000. There we go. There we go. Did I have it right the whole time? Wait, that... Wait. Turn on the scale doesn't need to be that big. So you can... That's perfect. But I can divide it by less, and then like curve sharper. I do need to get the other side though. Wait, this part's not scaling the size. Wait, shouldn't that be like... This is literally modifying by a couple pixels. Oh wait, oh. That's why. It's only going by a couple pixels, and the arc comes from the movement from the iterations. So I'm not actually seeing whatever's going on here. So let's start by... Hold on, let me just throw a comment right here. So I've got all this stuff by self.scale. Wait. Did that like... I don't see anything there. Huh. We need to add the other one. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Loading the other one to make it visible. I forgot to buy 0.2 over there. That's probably part of the issue. There we go. That is what I expect it to look like. Let's just increase the curve a little bit. Huh. That's a cool effect. There are better ways to do that effect, by the way. yeah, there are better ways to do that effect, but that's just an intermediary state for this one. So I've got that. So let's do the diff now. By diff. How? What? How does it mess up that badly? Or wait, no, that is accurate. If I take rid of the square root part. Yeah, that's accurate. Huh. Nope, that's wrong. So, what's the best way to smooth that out? The curve is so harsh. It really stands out. What if I cut down on the iterations here? Just click. That actually helps a bit. Funny enough. Because it's less precise. It depends on where I put it. If I put it on 2, that's scuffed. Wait, 3? Huh. Anyway, 10. This is like the quality. So yeah, I'm getting a weird shape here. It has something to do with the curves. Like if I don't curve it, I can put 0 here. You can see it looks better. I actually don't have like any smoothing on the shape for my normal sparks, if you watch my video on that. So, okay, the square root does appear to help a lot. Do I need to do a cube root? So that would be... what is that, 1/3? Uh, 1/5. And it just became a block. 3.5. I'm thinking that's right. So now we can add back in the curve. There we go. I think it might not be harsh enough quite. So 2.5. And 2.2. I mean, that's pretty decent. I like 5. That's pretty good. Now I need to mess with the scaling by 0.2 because these particles are supposed to be pretty thin here. There we go. That's the curved particle I want. So what's the last part? It's supposed to scale in relation to speed, but the speed is really high, so this might actually need to be 0.5. After this, we can spawn a bunch of them from my mouse or something, and we'll get a little bit of a effect show. So that's super thin, and I can do. I might want a fatness multiplier. Yeah, I just gotta throw that in for fun. Self.fatness equals fatness. Fatness equals 1. And I can just multiply these things by fatness. So I can control how fat the particle is. That'll be funny. The more controls, the better. I should probably have a system for generating these particles where it's got presets, essentially. So that I don't have to like manually type this in like every time. Okay, so now I need to do multiply by speed. Self.speed. So a lot of the issues I was seeing was just getting the scaling of my parameters completely wrong. There we go. Oh, it needs a decay rate. Wow. Decay rate. There's a lot of parameters here. Self.decay rate equals decay rate. Self.speed max equals self.decay rate. Let's do self.speed equals max 0 self.speed minus that, so it never goes equal 0. And return self.speed. So that's essentially just whether or not it's alive or not. I can do return bool. That would make more sense. And then if self.speed, then it'll render. When it stops rendering, when it's dead as well. Oh, I need the argument. So how fast do I want this thing to decay? 0.5. Oh, that was too fast. Huh. That's interesting. So you can see it slowly shrink and pop. Perfect. Yeah. So typically I'm actually probably going to have a higher speed, a lower scale, so like 5, 20, and then an increased decay rate. Boop. Hold on. A bit faster than that. Boop. So that's what I'm looking for. That's what I was trying to make. So now I can spawn a bunch of them. Sparks equals that. And then need random. So mx_my equals pygame.mouse.get position. If random.random 0 through 10? No, 15. I'll do not, so it's like if it's 0. So no, sparks.append, add the spark, and for spark in sparks, update the spark, and alive equals the update, and then sorted enumerate reverse equals true. If not alive, sparks.pop I, put the I right there. We got ourselves something special. Is it? It's supposed to, oh wait. It needs to come from the mouse, so mx_my. I need more from that. Lots of sparks. Look at that. That's cool. Let's do 2. That's pretty cool. That's, wow. Make some interesting stuff with this. And I can make like a half circle. I'm reading chat real quick. Why am I using Python 3.2.7? Oh, sorry, 3.7.2. Is there something wrong with it? For people coming late, what am I doing? I'm working on a visual effect for the game. For the game, I think YouTube should let you go back and see like the past hour or whatever. I don't know how long it's been. An hour and a half or whatever. You should be able to see what I'm working on. There's some clips of it in there. But yeah, it's a VFX, well, a visual effect thing that I'm working on that I'll use in the game. There was no division error. Do a face reveal? Nah. As I've said before, I'm not interested in doing a face reveal unless this is like actually my job. Although I'm getting pretty close to making $1,000 from YouTube. Give it another 20 days, and I should hit $1,000, maybe a little bit less. So less than 3 weeks, and I should hit that. Pygame, yeah. Yeah, I only read chat like periodically once every 10-15 minutes, because if I try to keep up with chat the entire time, I can't get anything done. I tried to keep up with chat in some of my first streams. It didn't work out well. I was getting almost nothing done. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's not pet bait in here. I'm a little bit better in the actual project. But yeah. Talking about Pygame, my channel. How to change the theme? Is it? Where is it? Options, configure idle. You love my games? Thanks. Why do you use vectors instead of arrays? What? I mean, like, I use vectors as... Wait, I'm not sure what you're talking about here. Oh, yeah, I definitely go past that. I mean, everyone's got wide... That 80 character limit thing is kind of dumb in my opinion. Although, it doesn't even fit. How many characters is this? 244. Yeah. Oh, I need to figure out... I've got so much of my old code, like, still available to me. I'm very curious how much code I've written in my life, and I can get a pretty good estimate because I've got most of it. And I know how much I've written for work as well. And funny enough, the stuff I've written for work is like almost nothing in terms of line count or character count compared to the stuff I do at home. It's a lot less code writing when there's other management related stuff to do. Okay, anyways, where was I? So this, let's put in a random angle. Just for the fun of it. So math.radians random.random 02359. Pop out in a random angle. Okay, that's cool. Let's get rid of that thing. Just put one every frame. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. They're going a little bit fast, but I mean, that's fine. What if I put out like 10 of them? Ten of them every frame. Boop. Oh, that's trippy. Wait. Wait, no, I just need that. Wait. For I in range 10. and then I can do whoa. There's some fun effects you can make if you mess around with some stuff. What else can I do? I want to increase that rotation a bit, so like 40, and then I by 4. That looks interesting. Oh, you know, a lot of people think you can't do like cool visual effects in Pygame and whatnot. It's just a matter of making it yourself. You can do all sorts of crazy stuff that I just haven't done yet. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah, reading chat again. It's Python longlines or a pseudo norm. Yeah, I really like writing one-liners, like where it ends up saving me a few key presses. Also, I mean, just the way I look through my code, scrolling around and whatnot, I like one-liners because I know what the line does, and it doesn't take up very much vertical space, and that's the part I'm more interested in, because most of the time I'll be scrolling past things and not actually caring about what's really in it. As long, like, I'll know what's in it, but I don't want to look at all the details, so it's nice that it's off the screen to the right or whatever. So, funny enough, the part that's I'm supposedly doing bad, I'm finding convenient. Yeah. When you refer to Vector 2, it simply refers to maths in video games. Okay, wait, what were you saying about Vector 2 again? Oh, why don't I use instead? Oh, okay. Wait, yeah, Pygame does have vectors, doesn't it? Wait, let me see. Oh, wait, hold on. I seem to remember that it does actually have vectors that you can use. Okay, vector? No. Vector? Yes, they do have, it does have vector too. So you can do stuff here. I actually don't know a whole lot about vector math. The stuff I know about vectors is more intuitive. Like, I intuitively figured out some stuff about how you use vectors. Okay, vectors are an essentially classification of a data type. Well, a way you can use data in geometric space. And it's just, when you're working with this stuff, you naturally run into the concept, which is how I learned about vectors. And then, like, when I took the classes, I learned about like what the terms are and stuff like that. But I still understand it better from a more intuitive sense, so I just do the math. I don't know the names for the operations very well. I just manually write down the math myself for the vectors. I probably should learn the proper names at some point, because when those functions are written in C like that, it should be faster. Although my vector operations aren't usually what's slowing down my games. Like, I would say pretty much never is that the issue. Gungeon. Wait, let me look this up. What is this? Just gonna show you this. This is what this guy is talking about. I've actually never watched Naruto, which is kind of funny. I've seen some shonens. I've watched like a couple seasons. Like I think of all the seasons of My Hero Academia except for the last one. Does Pokemon count as a shonen? I don't know. Some of these would make cool loading icons, yeah. How about I use Unity? No. I like Python. I'm pretty sure I gave an example of how to code wall jumps in my How to Code Any Feature video. Yes, I know I'm using lists as vectors. Yeah. Because, I mean, a vector is just 2 values as a list, essentially. So, I mean, you can put it as a vector, but generally, this goes for everything, really. I prefer doing it myself rather than using other people's stuff, because it gets confusing for me, and there's more stuff to remember. There's the names that people call things, and then there's the abstract concepts for whatever libraries people write, and the names of all the functions associated with it. So, I don't know, I just have an easier time with more intuitive stuff. I have an easier time when I'm working with lower level stuff, and I can do the operations myself. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, it's that. Let's decrease the speed, maybe? Or I want to increase the frame rate. Increase the frame... I think, well, part of the issue is I'm lagging, I think. Oh, scale needs to be increased, that's what it is, so like... 30? There we go, that's what I want. There we go. Actually don't need so many. Let's do 3 by... Actually 5, and then multiply by 8. Actually, I think I only need 4. Wait, no, maybe I do need 5. Yeah, it's 5. And then I can do 2 by 10. No, let's do 16, and then the timer goes 32. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, this is a fun effect to play around with. Now I need to test what exactly I'm gonna do for the bow, because this whole thing was I'm going to, well, I'll use it for a lot of stuff, but the first thing I'm going to use it for is the bow. Wait, I want to tighten the angle a bit and see what that looks like. It's going to be interesting. Oh my, that's so weird. Wait, I need to just take this out, I guess. Get rid of the eye. Oh my goodness. That's great. Wait, what if I like shotgun it? So if timer percent 20 is 0, then for I in range 10, and then I by 36. Okay, that's interesting. wait, let's do less. Let's do 5 and 72. Wow, that's cool. Let's cut down the speed too. There's just a lot of cool things you can do with this effect. There we go. That's fun. If I reduce the rotation, right. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it a bit more often. We had all sorts of cool stuff you can do with this. I want to do the bow shot. So, I need to do it once in every 20. So this one's going to be just 2 in like 2 different directions. So take this and this. The angle is predetermined. It's just let's do 0 and 90. Not quite. It needs to be smaller, I think. Well, I mean, the scale's not a huge issue. It needs to decay faster. Boop, boop, boop. Is it actually coming out of my mouse? That's the real question. That's a slightly annoying thing about this particle is that it starts... I wonder if it would be beneficial for I in range iterations. Wait. Let's do that. Temp angle minus equals that. Just like back it up a bit. Because you want it to spawn in the middle. Makes the positioning better. Anyways, so actually one of these is going to be turning one way and the other is going to be turning the other. So negative math.py. Are these turning into each other? Hold on, these are going way too fast. Is it this one that's speed? Just 3 frames. I'm gonna give it 30 frames to do its thing. Huh. So this is a bit closer to what I want. But wait. It should be the same direction. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So this is the effect I wanted. This is what I've been working towards for this like last hour. How long has it been? I've been messing around with this effect. Yeah, this is exactly what I had in my head. I don't know if I explained it well when I drew this picture. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. There's a lot of math, like, for very little visual benefit. I can make it bigger, actually, so you can see it better. Is it this one? I forget the indexes on this thing. Pew, pew, pew. So, I'm actually not... You should probably also shoot some back, and I can do that too. So you do this, you go 180, you put no curve on it, and you get what? Why is it coming out at that angle? Oh, right. Math.radians 180. Yeah, there we go. You can see like kind of or a curved bow shape coming out of that. This one I want to be faster though, so like it's gonna be 6. Pew pew. Oh wait, no, that needs more decay as well. Pew, and a smaller scale because the speed increases the scale. These ones do need to be faster though. Pew. Right, nope. Decrease scale. Increase this thing. Pew, pew, pew. 4? Because this thing's going way too long with those particles. So the particle coming out of the back, maybe it should be coming out of the front. And that might actually be confusing. So maybe it should be just 0. Yeah, like 0, and then I can put 2. 1 at like math.radians. 140 and 220. Oh, but those ones are way too long. Pew. So, how's that for a bow effect? I feel like I'm playing a shmup now. But yeah, there'll also be the arrow coming out of the right. But yeah, I'll actually probably put this script on my Patreon for people who want to mess around with it. Yeah. I'll put the whole game on Patreon soonish, probably before the end of the month as well. We can read chat again. Why are there like 76 people watching at 1 AM? You know, I wonder if it's because of the desktop background. I wouldn't be surprised because it's more interesting to look at. Anyways. Oh, you know what? I should totally do my streaming in i3 and just stream with i3 gaps. That would definitely get a lot more viewership. Anyways, I'm gonna read comments. Which OS is best for programming? Even though that person said Windows, I actually do think it's probably Ubuntu. Well, it depends on what you're developing. Like game development, like especially if you're using engines, it's Windows. Wait, hold on, isn't the entire Adobe suite only Windows? Which is like one of the major reasons people use Windows? I think it is, but I don't use that. I would be fine working on Ubuntu. The only thing is that most people use Windows, so it's decent to be using the platform you're going to be primarily releasing on for development. But like I wouldn't have any issue developing in Ubuntu. What am I doing? Well, I was working with VFX. You don't have to open every application in the terminal. You can, but you don't have to. The command line is better. Are you talking about the Windows command line is better than the terminal? Because I I kind of disagree with that. Either that or I just don't know the commands. I'm fairly familiar with the Linux commands and I can do a lot of stuff on it. Do the Python packages work on Ubuntu? Yeah. I mean, funny enough, I think almost all Linux distributions include Python. It comes with it. Although some of them have Python 2 on it instead of Python 3, which is obnoxious. What was the hardest game I've ever made? You like to beat? Okay, to create, to beat, or to get into. I'm gonna assume to beat, because to beat it's Drawn Down Abyss. I have not even beat it yet. You gotta go like 30 floors. I got like 25. I want to beat it at some point. I actually really like that game. It's just I'm actually when I get my new monitor, I'm probably going to get some long cables, put it on a portable table so I can move it to the end of my bed, and just like also get a USB extender so that I can plug in my controller and just play PC games from my bed. That'll be hilarious. And that would probably lead to me playing my games sometimes. Because I don't play PC games very often. Like the PC games in the flat screen sense, or pancake screen, whatever you want to call it. I mostly do play VR stuff on my computer. That and Minecraft. I've been meaning to play other stuff, I just haven't got around to it. I don't know. Maybe if there were a screen at the end of my bed, I would do it more. Yeah, Super Potatoes Bros is pretty hard, although I think... Oh... Yeah, depending on how you measure it, you might also consider the Crushed Sky to be the hardest. Wait, hold on, let me pull them up. Oh, I got a notification, what's this? Cool. So yeah, Super Potato Bros, probably second hardest. I mean, there's just the most content in these two, so it'll take the longest to beat. People say this one's pretty hard. I mean, yeah, I think this is one of the hardest, I would say. Like, third hardest. This one's pretty difficult. This one's pretty difficult. And like a lot of my games, you just kind of keep going as long as you can. That's like this one, this one, this one, this one. Although this one actually is pretty hard because there's like rounds essentially, and people don't get very far generally. Oh, this one's pretty hard too. This is just a straight up bullet hell. It's like the first game I released. Yeah. Well, it's an interesting kind of bullet hell. You got a lot of abilities and stuff. I released this, when was this? 2016. I was 15 when I released this. This is my easiest game by far. Oh, Guardian of the Trees, yeah. I forgot if I actually got my cursor showing. I think I do have my cursor showing. You can see that. Yeah, like maybe half my games, there's no like end goal. You just go as far as you can. So that's like Spike Dungeon and Linus. But I mean, all my games are fairly difficult, because otherwise I wouldn't have any fun. Okay, still reading through comments. You have an online Linux server for a course. CS50. Wait, what? CS50? I have not heard of that. Wait. Anyways, I actually have two servers. one runs my personal website and one runs a project. It's like a Beat Saber thing. Yeah, I also use Ubuntu like non-stop for work. Like when I was working full-time, I was using way more Ubuntu than I was using Windows. Well, actually, I was using i3 in Ubuntu, so it's not like typical Ubuntu. It's very different. Like, if I want 2 monitors, I have to run a command to get that to work properly. Oi. My thing, I was scrolling through messages and it glitched out and teleported me to the bottom. Is Linux terminal a problem for you? You don't have to touch it normally if you're using like Ubuntu, but it's not hard to get into. I don't know what you're talking about when you say U4. If you're talking about load, so Sujal was complaining about not understanding the map loading. Did you watch the old video or the new video? I redid episode 3. And the new one's a lot clearer. Although I might have spent more time on it in the old one, so you can try both. See if you get it from that. 2 p.m. there. Oh, maybe that's why people are watching. I forgot. A lot of people that watch me are like in Asia and stuff, and like India specifically, and Middle East and whatnot. So it's morning and afternoon. Oh wait, no, 2 p.m. Wait. Hold on. What would that be? That's 13 hours ahead. Isn't that Japan? Like that, like it's along that line. Huh. You could learn the basics of the Linux terminal today. I mean, what are the basics? I mean, it's just, I guess there's CD, MV, CP, LS, SSH, depending on your use case. But I mean, RM, some common arguments like -R, RM-R slash, no, sudo RM slash R. Wait, sudo RM-R slash. Delete everything. In the background while you're working on your late night projects, yeah. When I watch game development streams, I do the same thing. Like, I'll be working on something while watching it. Either that, or I'll be like directly interacting with the streamer, which is not like you guys can't very directly interact with me. Like, 'cause I'll respond like 15 minutes later. Let's go, whole jumping thing in the bottom right. That is the character from Spike Dungeon. I can pull that up. That's one of my Game Jam games. It actually won the competition it was in. It's one of the 2 times I've won a Game Jam. International audience, yeah. 11:30. Is that? I don't know. I don't know if that's AM or PM. I would assume there's no PM. It's AM or like military time, whatever. You want to see this on Steam? Like, see what? Oh, a little bit easier to tell what you're talking about if I was reading it when it came out, when you sent that message. Yes, I do have a Patreon. You get access to the code from my devlog project. So, like, my devlog series on my YouTube channel, you get that access to that code, which includes the level editor and stuff. And there's a bunch of other scripts on there. Is there a bunch of other scripts? I don't remember what I put on there. I know that's there. But no, I'm planning on adding more stuff there over time. Okay. You have a project? Thank you. You can set environment variables so you can double click Py files. Yeah, that's not hard to do. I mean, I doesn't it do it by default? Like, I can double click this and I get it by, you know, I think it might be a setting. Is there like a box you have to check for setting up environment variables? I don't know. How am I? Fine. I'm getting sleepy though. I'm on my break finally because Christmas was a bit chaotic. So my break is like the 4 days before I start work this year. You want me to play Minecraft? I've been playing a lot lately, but I don't think people will watch it if I stream it. Oh, I mean, there's been like 5 people that have asked me to play Minecraft. Which, funny enough, I don't use mods that much. Is Pygame a better choice than C? Well, Pygame is a library and C is a language, but I'm assuming you're talking about Python with Pygame versus C with SDL. It's gonna take longer to make stuff with C, but it'll run faster. Rendering should be similar. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't recommend using C for game development. There's better options. If you want to build stuff from the ground up and you want it to be super fast, C++ is the way to go. C++ with OpenGL probably. That's like the standard, I think, for when people want to really get the most out of their performance. But yeah, most people use engines. Python's good if you want to make games fast and you want to learn a lot about, like, if you want to get good problem solving skills and everything, and just become good at programming in general, you'll get a lot better experience out of making games with Python. Or it's because you're using Pygame, you're not using an engine. When you use an engine, you're using the built-in functionality, so you're learning the engine and you're not learning to code, really. There's coding elements, but you get a lot more of the thought process when you do stuff from the ground up. Oh, someone answered the question. You know Python very well. We're beginning with C++. Yeah. I mean, if you're getting into game development and you intend to not use engines, you might want to start with Pygame since it's super easy to learn, and then a lot of the knowledge will transfer to C++, like just in terms of programming knowledge. I wouldn't start with an engine and then transfer to C++ with the library. Although if you're like interested in game development as like a career option, you need to learn Unity. There's not really another option there. If you're interested in solo game development, you can do pretty much whatever you want. It depends on what you're trying to do. How do you get a programming job so young? So actually, funny enough, I was having a hard time finding one at first because I think essentially what happened was I graduated with a degree, associate's degree, so a 2-year degree from college when I finished high school. So, and I wanted to do an internship before I went to the main college I intend to get my bachelor's degree from. Yeah, so I was looking for an internship, but the annoying thing was I wasn't technically a student at the time. It was between colleges, so I wasn't a student at either college, which caused, I'm pretty sure it just set off some automated red flags for a bunch of the bigger companies I applied to, where they have automated processes for sorting through the applications. So when it says that there's no school I'm currently attending, that probably just immediately got me denied for those. So what happened was I actually knew some people and got into a different job at a very small company. Although, yeah, we do aerospace stuff. But yeah, I got the job on the basis of my my understanding is I got the job because of the experience I have. So like the things I've made, how long I've been programming, and then also I've won competitions and stuff. So I got that job because of the stuff I do on the side, not because of my education. If you look at my education, when I got that job, I had like one introductory class. When I had one introductory class to programming and a Java class, that was it. So, yeah. Everyone gets what? Wait, what? Well, yeah, a lot of people do get programming job pretty easily. If you're coming out of college, they're not hard to get, is my understanding. Well, if you come out of a decent college, because the demand is so high. You just gotta apply to a lot of them. Although it does help if you know people. Well, it also depends on what type of area we're working in. Some areas are easier to get into than others. So I think one of the easiest ones might be web development, because there's just such high demand from smaller companies. So if you're the one reaching out to the smaller companies, it's like if you know what you're doing, it's probably not hard to find a web development job. As long as you have some experience. I'm now reaching the comments where everyone's saying what time it is. Wow. Okay. Wait, 4:41 in Australia. Wait. Really? I thought Australia is a bit further west than that. So, yeah. I would assume you're like Melbourne or whatever, east coast of Australia. That's pretty much everyone, isn't it? It's like no one on the west coast of Australia. 2 p.m. in the Philippines. Nice. Oh, you're in Malaysia. Huh. Wait, did I get my times mixed up? Hold on, I'm curious about this now. Time zones. What am I looking at here? Okay, I'm pretty sure it's just like daylight savings time confusing me with the time zones around like East Asia and whatnot. Huh. Do I conduct game jams? I am a moderator for the Alka Jam, and I actually I hosted one of the events there. So, in a sense, I do kind of run some, but I don't have one specifically associated with me. Like, I don't have anything that's branded under my name. I just participate in the Alka Jam community, and I've run events there. The event I ran was actually an event around selling games. It was like a jam where you work on a game and you sell it and you try to get $1. Yeah. It chose me for that one because I was, like, I think the only one that had experience selling games. India, yeah. Lots of you guys. Funny enough, India is the country with the second largest proportion of my viewership. You found my channel yesterday? Took 0.5 seconds. Subscribe, nice. Can you hide your game assets? Actually, if you look at my Discord server, someone else was working on that recently. They were encrypting it, and I think decrypting it during runtime. But yeah, there are ways you can hide it, and at some point your code has to figure out what it actually is, and you can't stop someone from taking a screenshot of your game, like the game here. like the game displaying here. Like you could take a screenshot, you could extract the spike images and the frames of the player animations. You could manually extract all of that easily by just like opening up Paint and then like copying and pasting and cropping things and whatnot. So ultimately you can't do too much about it, and like music, it's always playing. You can just open up some recorder like OBS and record your desktop audio, and boom, they've ripped your audio. So even if you encrypt everything, it's still not hard to rip it from the game. It does make it a little bit less accessible, especially some of the assets. So yeah, you can encrypt things if you want. There's other techniques as well. But I don't care enough to do that. I release the source code with my games anyways. I've never really... I don't think I've had any issues where people have tried to steal my assets, really. There actually have been multiple cases where people got confused about the rights I was giving to people in terms of the stuff from my tutorials. It was just like, there's one thing where it was the music I used in my sound effects video. I did not give rights for. I let people use it for themselves, like to test things, but not in their own games. And people didn't notice that because I listed everything else as public domain. So there was that case. But I mean, it's mostly just people getting confused about my roles and stuff, which isn't a huge deal. Yeah. Other than that, I haven't had any issues. There's been times where people have taken my open source games and done stuff that I don't appreciate, but they didn't technically do anything wrong. Yeah. Okay. How's Spec Dungeon character jumping on my screen? He's look, it's a why did I say he's? I did this a moment ago before starting this stream. I just started the game, took some video footage, did some color keying to crop out the back and just replace it with black, like saved the video, loaded it into OBS under some like media source or something, and I set the file and set it to loop, and then I used the color key to take out the black so it's transparent, and yeah, now I've got that. So it's just a looping video that OBS is processing. I might do a video on my stream setup at some point, because like especially the whole music thing, people might find that music tool useful because you can customize the way it looks with CSS, and it's very lightweight. Yeah, there's no Python program running there. It's just OBS magic. Game reminds me of Download. Yeah, this game is pretty close to Download. I don't know if I knew about it at the time. I don't remember. Yeah. I seem to wait. Yeah, I don't know. My storm's glitching out again. What's the best website to run ethical hacking? I've got no clue. I know a few things, and I could pretty easily get into some trouble. Like I know some commands and stuff to try to get into things, but I don't do that. I know a guy that's studying cybersecurity, and he actually was doing penetration tests on my personal website. Did you make the level editor for the platform runner? I'm not sure when you're talking about when you say platform runner, but I either use tricks with like I think like this, the one I've got on the screen right here, it's text files of certain segments joined together. Sometimes I'll draw the maps in MS Paint and have the game interpret the PNG as a map. Sometimes I'll make level editors, which is what I use for the more advanced stuff. Use Unity to make games. Nice. Oh, you're in a game jam. Yeah, that's the best way to learn, in my opinion. Any tips for beginners? I mean, pretty much just keep coding. Make projects you're interested in. Don't just follow tutorials. If you just follow tutorials and try to learn things specifically in tutorials instead of trying to use the tutorials to get to work towards what you want to make, you're not going to learn as much. So yeah, you want to work towards making stuff you're interested in and like working past what's just in tutorials. Decoding day and night. I mean, that's one way. That helps. But I mean, like when I started, I was maybe 1 hour a day or less. I think like first day I did like 3 hours, second day 3 hours, something like that, and then slowed down to like half an hour to an hour, if that. Some days I'd do like 5 hours and stuff early on, but I really didn't spend too much time. It's just I've been doing it for so long. And actually there was a phase for like 6 months shortly after I started where I just wasn't coding anything because I didn't have anything I wanted to work on. Yeah, the point where I really got consistently into programming was when I started participating in game jams, because like that would be regular 3 to 6 times a year making games, which is like once every few months. So I'm consistently doing stuff now. There have been times, like I think in the last few years, where I would not make, like I probably didn't even write 100 lines between 2 game jams. So like I would go months without writing hardly anything. I just kind of go in and out, but for the most part, especially nowadays, like in the last year or so, I write code maybe fairly consistently at least once every 2 weeks, which is not a great number. If you take out work, if you put in work, I mean it's every week. But yeah, I actually don't program that much. Like the stuff I've been streaming, like, is maybe half of the work I've been doing in the last maybe month or so. So you can count the hours right there. It's probably like 15. So 30 hours of programming in the last month, if you exclude work, maybe less. So the hour count's not very high. What's Sleepy Python? Also, if that's a like actual question, not a joke, it's because you can never know with those things. But yeah, it's because I'm sleepy and I'm programming. So yeah. I'm not sure what you're talking about with Jarvis AI desktop assist. Don't be a script kiddie. Yeah, don't be a script kiddie. That's bad. How old am I? That's in the frequently asked questions in the description, which is 19. How do you get initial experience? I mean, because every legit company requires experience. The standard is people get internships, and for internships, they expect experience, but not like work experience. I mean, some internships, they want you to have previous internship experience. But I mean, majority of internships, they don't require you to have previous work experience. They just kind of want to say experience. And you can get experience with like programming and stuff on your own. I mean, that's the type of stuff I'm doing right now. And that's the type of stuff I've been doing for the last 7 years. Also, I do have, on my resume, I list freelancing and independent software development for like I listed as my employment from 2018 to present, and then I also list my current employer for almost a year now. So my resume actually has 2 employers at one, well, 2 jobs at once on it. But yeah, you can get some of your own, like some experience on your own by just working on your own projects. Work experience, yeah, they at least in America, I don't know where you're from. I don't know something. Okay, yeah, I don't remember where you're from, but in America, people normally go to college. They do internships while they're in college, which are fairly easy to get. Although mine was difficult to get because I wasn't in college when I got my internship. But yeah, they're fairly easy to get, and then you just it's easier to get a job when you come out because you've had experience in a workplace from an internship. If you're really desperate, there are internships that don't pay you, and actually that's the standard for other industries. It's like computer science and engineering and stuff, where you get paid for internships. But there are some computer science internships that are not paid, and there's so few people applying to those because everyone wants to paid internships that it's pretty. I would assume it's pretty easy to get those if you don't have any other options. So if you really need the work experience, you could try going for those. I was actually considering that for a little bit because I was having such a hard time finding stuff because I wasn't technically a student at the time. Reading more comments. Why use Unity? Read the description. I wrote that out. What is the average age of my viewers? Older than me, surprisingly. The largest block. Actually, I can probably pull it up. One moment. I've got my analytics. Analytics. I don't think there's any rules against showing this stuff. Oh, here, yeah. So, funny enough, my peak hours for viewership is in the middle of the day, which is when I get those 100 concurrent viewers streams, or like actually goes up to like 120. If I stream in the middle of the day, I get a lot more viewers, like double. Which is why I was surprised I got even 70 when it's so late in the night. What was the question? Average age. Where is that? Gender. This has actually been evening out, surprisingly. It used to be like 99, 99.5. As I've gotten my channel bigger, it started evening out. Even though it's not even close to even. Also, you can see India's #2 country here. But yeah, so average age is probably older than me. Yeah, because it depends on how this bracket of 18 to 24 is distributed, but yeah, only 8% 13 to 17, which is good. I won't get in trouble with the government for putting ads on. Wait, no, is it ads? Yeah, like ads and stuff on my videos, and just, yeah. Interesting stuff here. Average views per viewer 2.2. Oof. Okay, time to read more. I was planning on editing the stream once I finished reading these comments, but I'm taking so long to get through these comments that the stream's gone on like an extra 30 minutes. Hey, you're also Gamedev, but you use C# because Python is slow. The issue is not Python. There are actually articles on this. I need to put this in my description. The issue is CPU-based rendering. If you write your own OpenGL bindings with Python, it's pretty fast. You can write game logic. Well, you don't want to like do OpenGL with Python and make a 3D engine. That's a bad idea. But actually, I had this whole discussion in my last stream. You can get the more detailed view of it from there. But essentially, it's an issue of the fact that Pygame renders with the CPU, not the GPU. It uses the GPU a little bit, but not much, which is where most of the slowdown's coming from. The rest of it would be just bad code on your end, because most game logic does not take hardly any processing from like the code. It's mostly rendering when it comes to games. So if you've got a library that's using the GPU for rendering, that's the major burden there, and that's taken care of. So you can use Python. It's just there's not a ton of good options for libraries right now. So there's tons of potential for Python to be used in the future for game development. There's a reason why people use blueprints with Unreal. So like, although someone was saying blueprints is converted to like C++ and compiled or something. Yeah. Let's go up again. It's like it keeps teleporting me to the bottom. It's annoying. Uh, 30 hours for a full-time college student. I mean, 30 hours in a month? That's like 1 hour a day. Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, yeah, it's probably not 30 hours. It's probably like 20 or less for the last month. Yeah, I'm not averaging an hour a day. Been doing a lot of other stuff. Do you like my chat box style? I used a generic tutorial on how to do this, and I just switched the font, I think, and the colors. That's it. Have you ever played Warcraft 3? No. You're leaving, try zooming, the code readability is too low. I actually zoomed on Atom, so it's a little bit bigger here. But it was just because I was using the IDE for visual effects. But also, actually, you know, I didn't think about this. Maybe it's because people are watching on mobile, where you just can't get it big enough to see. I didn't think about that, because like my audience is like 50% mobile or more, I think, which is hilarious because I do tutorials on programming. I don't know how people are doing that. Are they like watching on their phones and then like programming on the computer instead of programming on the computer while watching the tutorial on the computer? I don't know what people are doing, but that statistic's a bit weird. Although like with a live stream, it makes more sense for people to watch on their phones. But if you're on a computer, you can increase the quality and you should be fine. The bit rate's pretty low. I'm streaming at 1.6 megabits per second. So you, even if you got trashy internet, like yeah, if you got trashy internet, you should be able to still watch it full resolution. My screen's mostly not moving. There's not very much data to transmit. What internships have I done? Just one. I've been doing it for months, and the work I've done is not internship level. I do a lot of stuff past that, but I can't say what that is. I mean, I can say it's aerospace stuff, but that's it, pretty much. Yeah, I have a feeling that the statistics about the age of viewers on YouTube isn't accurate. Yeah, I think my age on Twitter was like 100 years old for a while, and I just fixed it. And that's what I had for a lot of services until I was actually old enough. I was like 13 when I started creating accounts for stuff. So like some things actually no, I don't think my age was an issue. Oh, you know what? For my Gmail account, I think that was an issue. I think I created it when I was 12, and it didn't like the fact that I wasn't 13. But other than that, I was old enough for everything else I've used. I just didn't like giving my age to whatever service it was. But yeah, there's probably a lot of people that don't put their real age in there. Okay, just talking about memory leaks now. How to make chat box look like that? You can just look up a YouTube live chat box tutorial. It'll show you how to do it for OBS. I think you can do it with other things as well. But essentially, OBS just loads up the chat window, and then there's a website that generates custom CSS to make it look nice. And like OBS injects that CSS in, so it looks different. Never played Warcraft 3, unsubscribe. Oh yeah, well, okay, I'm temporarily using idle. I switch. But for the most part I'm using Atom. I probably need to put that in there. I didn't think about the fact that sometimes I use idle for standalone scripts. Tiled is good? I don't like tiled. I've never used it. Well, okay, I can't say I don't like it, because I haven't used it. I make my own editors. Yeah. I've seen a lot of people use it, and they generate like a PNG for the entire map, and then they get confused about how to do things from there. I think it has options for saving it as JSON data, though, which is important if you're using it. You got ones and zeros and put into map. Nice. Anyways, I've gotten to the bottom of the comments finally, after like 40 minutes or something, who knows. So I spent most of the time in the reading comments, I think, maybe half. And I got what I wanted to do done, which is VFX. I also, what else did I do? Oh, I added the other arrows, fixed the items and stuff like that. So I did a few minor but also important tweaks in features. Yeah. So I'm gonna end the stream here. Bye.